everyone, today we are going to be making these pretty fringe earrings with teardrop beads on the ends. We are going to be using 11-aught Miyuki rocaille beads. This is a bead mix called Deep Blue Sea that I got from Barrel of Beads. This is not sponsored, but they're pretty cool, so check them out. I'm also going to be using these 3/4 inch diameter hoops. I've got a pair of French hook ear wires, and I've got these glass teardrop beads with the hole going horizontally through the top as opposed to going vertically through the bead. I'm going to be using regular old polyester thread conditioned with beeswax, and I've got about 2 arms length of it threaded onto my big eye needle. The last things you're going to need are a pair of sharp scissors and a pair of needle nose pliers. So first we're going to tie the end of our thread onto one of our hoops, and I'm going to double knot that so it's nice and secure. Then we're going to pick up 2 beads, and I'm going to go through my hoop with my needle and then back through the second bead that I just put on. And this is just like doing a brick stitch, but instead of going through a thread bridge, we're going to be going through this little hoop. So I'm going to pick up 1 bead, go through the hoop, and then back up through the bead I just put on. And we're going to keep going like this until we have 11 beads across on our hoop. In order to make sure these last few beads are secure before going on to putting our fringes on, I'm going to go through the last thread bridge, pull it through until I have just a small loop, and then go back through that loop with my needle. And I am going to do that a second time just to make sure it's really secure. I like to give it a little wiggle back and forth when I pull it tight so that I can make sure that the knot is working its way into the bead so that we can't see it. Next we are going to pick up 20 of our 11-aught rocaille beads and 1 of our teardrop beads. Then I'm going to slide them all the way up to our hoop. I'm going to skip the teardrop bead and then go back up through all the rest of the 21 beads all the way to the top. You want to make sure that you don't pull this fringe too tightly. If I pull it a little too tight, you can see that it doesn't move and it's very stiff. So you want to have just the tiniest little bit of slack so that it'll be able to move freely. I'm going to go down through the bead to the left, and then I'm going to pick up 24 of our Miyuki beads and 1 of our teardrop beads. Just like before, I'm going to skip the teardrop bead and go back up through the rest of the 25 beads all the way up to the top. I like to double check after each fringe that I put on that they are not too tight by smacking them around a bit. We're going to continue putting on fringes in this way, adding an extra 4 beads every fringe until we make it to the center. So the next fringe is going to have 28 beads, then 32 beads, 36 beads, and I like to line the fringes up before I go back up through the beads so that I can visually check and make sure I haven't miscounted. And the middle one has 40 beads. After that, we're going to decrease each fringe by 4 beads so that we have this nice pointy shape at the bottom. So now back down to 36 beads, then 32 beads, 28 beads, 24 beads, and then lastly 20 beads. And now that we've made it all the way back to our tail thread, we're going to tie our working thread and our tail thread together. I like to make 2 very loose overhand knots to make sure that I'm not accidentally tightening up my fringes, and then finish it off with a really tight overhand knot. And now that they're nice and secure, I can work both ends back down through the fringe a little bit before I cut them off. I do apologize if I'm still sounding stuffy, but COVID has been really kicking my butt, and I'm just trying to stay on track here. And now I'm ready to put it on my ear wire. So I'm going to grab one of my French hooks and open it up with my needle nose pliers. Slide your hoop right on there and then close it back up. And there you have your finished earring. So you just gotta do that one more time to get its mate. and then you're good to go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more, please throw me a morsel of a subscribe, a crumb of a like, or a tasty tidbit of a comment. Okay, bye!